Hey, welcome to the show, guys. I hope everybody's keeping well. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Um, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm not going to make this video too long, so I'm just going to keep it brief, just to the point. One of the most common questions people ask, so it's quite funny, right? Is what's the market going to do? So when we were down here and we were pumping down, the main question I had was how low are we going to go? And currently someone's asked the question, and a few people have asked this question, when are we going back to the 65k? Awesome, KR, awesome, nice to see you, bro. Of course, let's do this. So, KL says basically, what a lovely surprise on a miserable afternoon. And Costana on Discord says it's raining people, and he means raining people on Discord. That's what I'm assuming, because it is raining people on Discord. Now, we're going to get into the subject of Discord in a bit, but let's talk about Bitcoin. So, what's the probability of us going back to 65k? So, question, I want to answer it in this particular way. If you're one of those kind of a person who is looking to cash out on 65k, you don't do that. If we're going to 65k, we're going higher. It's very simple, right? When we're going back to the 65k, we're going up. So there's no ifs and buts about that. You don't want to be preparing to sell. Hey Costan, hello bro. Yes, I believe you are Costana, right? So it's definitely raining people over there. Let's see what happens. I mean, if these are real people or not. I have this funny feeling Patrick's got something to do with it. We'll talk about more. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Okay, so going to 65k is going to push us even further. So once we're there, we're going to start making new targets anyway. So far, what we can see, we have this upward channel forming. And you can see this all demonstrated here. If I just zoom out a little bit, you can see it's all demonstrated here with these little trend lines. So you can see trend lines and the triangles are in reverse to do the gap fills. And where we are right now, so you can see we've come to this line and we held this line pretty much bang on. So this is really, really awesome to see, right? So you can see we have this specific resistance area, or you can even call it resistance and support, because there is some support there. Where we need to be is above this line here. So I've got a box here. Let me try and change the color so you can understand what I'm talking about and make it like this. So there's this area here, right? This area here, we need to get above this area. Whatever happens, we need to get above this area. So it's not going to be easy. Obviously, once, whenever we're in the market, we go down, we will come and find these kind of resistance because we broke trend here. So this is really, really cool. I think we're going to basically have a nice little pump here at some point, and we should be able to get above. Now, here I can see this, if we were to find any issues, or like if we were to expect a lows, and I'll put it in a different color, you can see that the low that we would possibly be expecting would be within this range. Within this specific range, we can expect a low as 47,200. However, I'm not too fussed. I think the market just needs to come in a little bit more. The momentum needs to come in. If you look at the bottom, you can see the volume is pretty low. Volume is very low. So bears do not have control. Bulls are totally in control, which is really, really awesome from seeing this. And I think we're just going to have another volume candle. So another volume supported candle coming in and just pushing this even further. Next push, if we have another candle like this, well, it takes us closer to our 52,000, all right, this particular area where we had the previous, just recent high. So we're not talking about all-time high, we're talking about recent high, because all-time high is up here. But it does give us the change of momentum, change of trend. So far, this has not invalidated. So I want you all to stay calm and understand this, right? So we've had this area here. We're currently on this candle. We got rejected exactly where we were. This did not change the trend, all right? I know some people will say, actually, no, it did, because it broke out of this channel. Yes, we broke the channel. We didn't break the trend. We're still on a downward trend. For us to confirm this now, we need to go above, even by $1 or two, and just sit above here. We're fine. So around this $49,000 level, if you can stay on the $49,000 level, close a candle above, we are super solid. Then we need to move over and target the next one, and that will reverse the trend and then start moving back up again. So it's not easy. Are we going to see a 65k if the trend continues to move up? So what we're looking for is a pattern like this. So You know, we're here right now. We might come down a little bit, try and break this, come down a little bit, try and break this, come down a little bit. Once we do this, this will reverse, change the whole momentum, and the market will start moving up again. So that's what I'm hoping for. You know, I'm very highly optimistic on that one. I think that would be the one that will propel everybody and show people that, guys, the market's ready to move again. Now, one of the other things to understand on this particular thing as well is that market's obviously going to move. That's the thing as well. I can see whales at play. A lot of these whales, what they're doing is pretty interesting. They're creating a supply shock. So whales are buying on the exchanges and moving BTC off the exchanges. In fact, KR shared a link with me. Miners, actual miners, BTC miners, they're also not selling their Bitcoin, they're holding their Bitcoin. And there was one article he shared with me, which was 96% of this particular supply was being held by, you know, on a cold storage. They're not selling. So they're physically creating a squeeze. And we all know what happens when you have a squeeze. When there's too much demand but not enough supply, we're going to see a massive price increase. That's what's going to happen, and that's being created. I'm all for it. Doesn't matter if people want to call that manipulation. It doesn't matter what it's called, as long as it's on a cold storage. Don't care what it is, you know, manipulation or whatever. I'm going to benefit from it. So that's the most important thing. That's what I'm looking for. I think if we do get that, that will give us that pump that we're looking for, because we are looking for a big pump. You see, it's not a small thing, right? Where we are right now, we're sitting at $47,000. We need a $20,000 pump, right? We need $20,000 more to come back to the market. And we're talking hundreds of billions of dollars to come in. That's not a small task. In order to do that, we definitely have to move the market. So I'm hoping that everybody understands that, yes, it's possible. And what's the probability? Now, let's look at the probability. That would be really, really nice to see. So I did a few bits and bobs here just to show you some probabilities of something. So remember the RSI, the yellow line is the RSI. We were coming down on the RSI. And here you can see we broke trend on the RSI as well, which is awesome, because all we have to do is break this neckline here in order to reverse the RSI. So far, the RSI has reversed. Ignore the fact that it's peaking down a little bit. That's just today. It's just reflecting today. But we broke this trend, which is awesome. So this is now giving us a high, which is good, right? That's all we needed. So we've done all of those things, and I'm going to show you on a higher time frame what I see as well. This is really awesome, right? So you see this one here. So far so good. Another thing we were looking at is MACD. So far you can see the MACD. You can see how this momentum is coming back in, and now it's starting to turn bullish. Okay, it's starting to turn bullish. So once we start getting back into this green zone, we are going to see these massive pumps coming in. You know, it's a matter of how long we can stay there, but these are on the daily, so nothing too extravagant. I wouldn't really you know, concern myself too much. Of course, it's bullish, daily is bullish, why not? There's no thing. But I want to show you higher time frame and you'll understand more. This is money flow, where the money started to come back in again since the last few days. Again, on a daily, it's not the best data. It's technically similar to what the RSI is doing, very similar. We had a little bit more money coming in than normal. I wouldn't really take that into account either. And even if I was to take this into account, we still have this previous high here. You can see we didn't even beat this previous high, so the money hasn't come in as much as it did before. So what we need to see is more money than this level here. So we need to go up a little bit more, and we also need to see more money than this in order to say 100% bullish. You know what I mean? Complete reversal. It hasn't happened yet, because you can see here we've got these particular area here where if I do put a line, you'll see exactly what I mean. So these resistance areas, right? We haven't really had more money than this, if that makes any sense. It's not a resistance, but it's just money coming in and out. So far, the money went out, money never came back in, and now it's coming back in, which is good. I mean, we are creating these highs, which is okay. We need more money to come in order to say we're truly going parabolic, right? So that's what I'm looking for on this one. And let me show you another chart that will make more sense. I think it's this one. Did I put it on here? You don't want to see these ones. These are insane charts. Let's bring you another simple chart. Yeah, let's bring you a simple chart here. So on this simple chart, I did kind of briefly show it to you yesterday, but I didn't react to it. I didn't do anything. I said, look, I'm going to talk about it on another time. And there's a big reason behind it. And we did use this chart. I'll show you. Remember yesterday we did some drawings on this chart, but there was something hiding on the bottom, which I didn't show you guys. I'm going to show you this right now. So let's get rid of all of this. We knew that we were going to come here. We did exactly as we're supposed to do. Also, what I'm going to do is switch off my Fibonacci. I don't need the Fibonacci. Okay, so this is where we are right now. Keep everything nice and clean. And let's have a look at the RSI. And this is on a going to be on a weekly, right? We need this on a weekly because that's the best way to show you this. So what we saw recently, remember we were talking about how this was looking bearish. Guys, we're looking bearish, 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 bearish. So we were complaining that, look, it's going to come down, and we were one step ahead. Right now, we need to also be one step ahead because this just did like a complete 360. And what I mean by that, when this was around here, we were talking about going down, 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 right? And then what it did was it came here, and you can see this is a historical line. This is a historical support and resistance area, right? This is around this 54 level of the RSI. So you can go and check it yourself. You can see this historic level where we see a small range where we constantly, basically, if we go fall below, then we're bearish. And if we go above, we stay bullish. And I've looked at this pattern over and over again, and I said, okay, so if this is the case, so I can put my line here, it might not be 100% accurate. What did we recently do? Well, we just peeked back, we just did a 360. So if we did a 360, this is now telling us that we've got a higher low than this. And you can see this low we had was on the 12th of July. And we've now got we've created a higher low, which is on the 20th of September, and now it's started to reverse. This is giving me an indication that, guys, this market may just want to reverse back up. Also, you can see the stochastic RSI flipping up as well. So all of this is now showing some serious bullish news, which I'm quite happy. But for me to be 100% confident, what I really need to see is this. It go above this line. If I can see this go above this line, maybe in a week or two, right, that's when things really change. Because even now, I mean, as we're talking, I can assure you, the market, there's some dumps going on. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you was these yellow lines. What I noticed was when we were doing, so I was looking at the yellow lines and I saw something. I said, and I'll show you where it is. So on the yellow line, I'm looking at the MACD, and I'm looking at these MACD cross days. Right, so you can see where the blue line goes over the red line. Blue line comes below the red line, and we can see these pattern over and over again. Obviously, it's the MACD cross. You can even just do it visually on the colors. And I was trying to see if they correlate. So if these lines correlate with what we're seeing so far, and what we see that we've had, whenever we cross down, we've had a few weeks of red. When they cross up, we have greens, right? You can see this over and over again on the charts. It doesn't matter what time frame you put it. These are the MACD cross, right? So moving average, convergence, divergence. Now, this is the only thing that worries me a little bit. So if you look at the end here, I'm not sure if you can see this properly. So if you look at the end here, we've got the blue line on top of the red line. Now, we've had the cross here, which gave us the bullishness here, which is absolutely fine. But here, it looks a little bit bearish, a little bit of a warning. It looks more like undecided. So I would really be cautious because I think that it's still going to be a little bit bumpy because we do have a long way to go. When you look at a higher time frame, 65K, of course, is something we want to see. But we need to also stay calm and understand the market for what it is. I always say this, right? I know you guys are probably bored of listening to this. That what the hell does it mean by let the market do what it needs to do? Well, this is a greater trend line, and on this greater trend line, you can see we need to break the 52. We need to get above, create a new high. Once we create a new high here, so we move up and we come here, we break this neckline here, then we are super bullish, right? Then we can see everything become more positive. Until then, guys, this will always stay as an all-time high, and this doesn't mean anything. All of this, every one of this doesn't mean anything. You understand what I'm trying to say? So just stay calm, see what happens. I can just quickly show you what's happened because I do have my notifications on. So I am seeing what's happening, and I think BTC just took a little bit of a dump. Let's have a look and see how much of a dump it took, because the price did plunge a little bit. Let's have a look and see what happened. Yep, there you go. So you can see this here. Look at this. This is what BTC just did, right? On an hourly, you can see this is exactly what BTC just did, how fast it got dumped, right? So this could be a liquidation event or anything, but that is a powerful move, powerful candle showing us that it's on the hourly, on a shorter time frame, it just took a dump, right? Look at this 15 minutes. Let's have a look, because it was on a 1 minute candle. So let's have a look at that 1 minute candle, 3 minutes, 1 second, 1 minute. Yep, here you go. That's this one here. You see how powerful this move was. So I'm still not complaining. I'm still going to be holding tight because obviously we need to see where the market is, what the market is doing, and how high or how low it can go. And so far, from if I do a short-term fib on it, and I haven't done a fib for a long time, if I do a short-term fib on it, we can see that if we did come down, look, it's showing us this is the current support area, which is okay. I'm not complaining. If I was looking on a slightly longer term, this is on an hourly. So if I was looking at a slightly longer term and I said, okay, guys, what about if we, have a serious dump? How far could it take us? Well, we would just go down here because this would be our bottom. We take this and we go back to the top and say, worst case scenario, we might come back down to the 44,900, which is solid to see because that means we're above the previous high. So worst case scenario for us, right? You see this particular neckline here. This particular neckline here, right? This particular neckline, we will stay above this, which is okay. Still not invalid. It's absolutely fine. We would love to stay above this area, which would be the best for us. So that's a dump situation, obviously. Pump situations are completely opposite. So let's do a pump situation and see what the pump situation says to us. So if we were to do a pump, we can use two data. So we can use a micro trend. So we can use this particular area here and do a micro one and say if we did get a pump, we're going to go and find some resistance around the $49,000, which would be here, 49,000. So just about $50,000, and we'll check those out in a bit. And then if we did do a bigger pump, how far can we go? Well, we can just easily take the fibs again and look at it on the same time frame that we did earlier on, which is here. You can see here. And if we did that, that shows us that we can easily see a 51,900, which is pretty much 52, right? So you can see how all of this is also saying, look, if there's a pump, the pump could easily take you above this level and just peak, right? Just a small little peak up there. That's what it could do just on that line, and then everything will be positive. So nothing too great. It's not giving us the best of the best. You know what I mean? So just very short term, take baby steps, and then we get to there. But as long as we can peak above this trend, that will be a powerful move, guys. That will be a very, very powerful move. So I would love to see that because I think that's going to be an insane move to see, right? Even when I'm looking at all of this data here as well. Lovely little area here where I can see if we did get a lovely little pump, it would be so powerful. So powerful. It's unbelievable. So let's wait for this. Let's see what it does. Let's clean up the chart a little bit as well. Get rid of that. Right, so yeah, that would be an awesome area to see what's going on. So yep, let's see. So on the upside, we're looking for 51, 52. On the downside, we're looking for around 45. Let's see what it does. So far, so good. But overall, as I said, overall, if you look at all the data is suggesting this pump is not stopping. Right? If you look at the data, overall, this pump is not stopping. Because we broke this daily trend that we have on the RSI, we broke that. On the stochastic RSI, we're pumping. Don't worry about the blue line. It's leading. It's good. So all of this is showing full-on positive bull mode. Do you know what I mean? Except that when we did see the MACD, there was a little bit of a concern on the MACD. Okay, we did have a little bit of a concern. Talking about concern, check this out. You're going to love this one. So I didn't check this. I didn't see this. Check this out. We just had another bull cross here. On a daily, we got a daily MACD cross. That's super bullish on a daily. Obviously, higher time frame is better time frame, but not bad to see on a daily. I mean, I really love to see this kind of stuff. Let's have a look at this one on a monthly and see what the monthly is doing. So this is on a monthly. Monthly, we did have a cross. If you look carefully, you can see we had a stochastic RSI cross here, which is awesome to see. Again, this is very bullish. What we would have wanted to see is the blue line lead a little bit more. And I think it's coming. If the market continues in the next few days to a few weeks, it should be really insane. Okay. Also, I was looking at a few other areas here, a few zones here on a monthly. So this is not on a weekly, guys. Remember, this is not on a weekly. This is going to be insane what you're about to see. So let me just show you this. You're going to love this area. So if you look at this, look, this is historical, but this is 2016, by the way. And I'm not going any further. 2016, this is 2019. And look where we are right now, finding actual resistance. Right? How hilarious is that? We're actually finding RSI resistance here. So the thing is once we can beat this level, market will go up again. All right, and these are monthly. These are on a massive trading lines. So yeah, I hope this kind of we can say it's time to buy if you make a day trading. Say it is time to buy if you make day trading. Um, this is when it's risky. It's risky. So I'll give you a good example. So Costin Alex, this is an answer to you. Right now is very risky. So, if you asked me a few days ago when we were down here, I remember I was sending out messages on Discord and everything. I was being very bullish. I was being bullish because we were here. It was good. When we came, so let me do it on this chart. It will be easier. Hold on, because I've got a few other data points here that I can show you. So it's easier. Let me do it this way. Right, yeah, there you go. So you see how we were down here a few days ago, and you can see we were so close to this neckline. So I wasn't even targeting this. I was just targeting this neckline. That's when we were bullish, because we know when we have a situation where we're coming to test it, we are bound to break it. And you can see the moment we did cross over, it was a power move that shot us up. It was a simple power move that shot us up and broke this one and this one together, right? And took us all the way up here into this range, which is awesome to see, right? But once we're in this range, it's not going to be easy. So right now, up to here, we're going to find resistance on the 48K. In fact, we did almost close at 48K. I think we even did go to that 48,000. I think we went to the high of 48,008. What was it? Let me check. Hold on, give me a second. The high we had 48,485. So we did have a candle, but we got dragged down again. We just didn't have enough volume in anything to cover us. And you can see this here. Look, this is on a 4 hour. You can see how the volume just dropped off. We didn't have full volume support. And this is why it went down. But so far, still not complaining, because what I'm seeing here, and you can see this if I show you, right? When you look at this on a different perspective, what you're seeing is we've got these higher highs being formed here, a shorter term higher highs. Is it good to trade? No, I wouldn't advise you to trade. I wouldn't trade. I'm only in it because I've already got a trade open, so I'm not going to bother with anything else. I'm not going to open a fresh trade. The fresh trade, sorry, let me bring this back again. Any fresh trade you want to open, what you want to do is you want to be around here. So remember, we went to 48,800, 48,000, sorry, 48,500, and we got rejected. So what you need to do is this area here, right? So if I was to just draw a line here, for example, draw a single line here, your trade needs to be when it breaks out, right? And you do it on a smaller time frame, say for example hourly time frame. This, let's put it on an hourly time frame, so it will be easier for everybody to follow this if you are going to do a trade. And by the way, guys, this is not a financial advice, so you do you, I do me. I'm just giving you a little bit of a guidance, just on the education. Right, let's do this. So on an hourly, you come here, you cross over, that's fine. You wait for a rejection, that's fine. You wait for this rejection to come back here. Once it peaks here, that's when you open it. This means we've confirmed that this is the zone. That's when you shoot up, not before that. Robot voice. Oh shit, what's going on, bro? Hold on, let me see. Why is it robot voice? Give me a second. Let me just double check. Did I do something? Oh my days, I know exactly what happened. Is the robot voice off now? There was two microphones active at the same time. Sorry about that, bro. I'm really, really sorry. Someone should have mentioned this in the beginning. My God. There was two microphones open. So basically it's recording from my headphone and recording from the laptop at the same time. Thank you very much, Jan. You're awesome. Thank you. Um, Okay, so that's what it means basically. So this is how you're supposed to do it. You don't do it below here, assuming, oh, we are going to go up, because when you're below here, the only assumption and the probability you have, and this is something a lot of people don't understand, like when we do probabilities, right? It's very important you understand. One second, let me just check something here again. Okay, I think everybody can hear me now. Ray Thorogood. Um, Everything gone now. No, it's fixed. I think it's fine now. I think yeah, when I did the setup, kind of messed up, but yeah, I think everything is back to normal now, and now I can continue. Right, let's continue with this. Right, so what you need to understand, the probabilities, right? How probabilities work, right? It's very important to understand, right? So when you've got a resistance line here, so you've got this. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something else. Do you know what I'm going to do? Temporarily, I'm going to delete that. There you go, right. So we've got this resistance box here, because I want to show you this. This is important, right? So we've got this area here, which is currently our resistance area. So we know this is our resistance area. So this is fresh for you. You understand this resistance area. On a resistance area, your probability should be higher that we get rejected here. That should be your probability. When we break this area here, now when you confirm that you are going to stay there and then move up, your probability is higher now that you're going to go. One second. Now you're going to go and do something even more crazy. You know what I mean? So your probability just became higher that you're going to pump up even further. That's how you do a probability. This area here is indecisive. This is nothing. This is a no man's area. This is not probability. Your probability here is you should be expecting to go down. If that makes any sense, right? Because the thing is a lot of the times, you'll have people say, okay, we're looking at all the analysis. And of course, these are longer time analysis. We look at all of this and say, look, everything is saying, for example, if I was to use this, we will pump, right? This is saying we will pump, happy days. But there are other facts in here that you also have to see. So remember, this is on an hourly. There are other facts here on the hourly. What you see here is we've created highs. How much higher can we go? Or can we get rejected and come back down here? We're on an hourly, so we might go up, 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 and then come down, down, down a little bit. So you can see all of this is just mismatch. It's on a shorter time frame. It doesn't make any sense. Like when you look at this on a shorter time frame, it's already saying, oh, look, guys, we're already too high. We might come down again. But this is because it's a shorter time frame. Money flowing in. Yeah, money's been flowing in shorter time frame, hourly. So you can't use these data to do this. That's why you always look at it on a higher time frame and then do the other stuff, right? So when you're looking at areas like this, you should always have this expectation that, okay, we went here, we're going to get rejected. We went here, we're going to get rejected. We might come here and finally get rejected, come down here, because that's going to be the problem, right? So the only way for you to have a guaranteed win is to make sure that you don't do any of that, right? And what you do is we've come here, we've tested this, fine. We'll do it again, no worries. We break above, absolutely fine. You don't touch it. You wait for it to confirm that it's not going below this. Now this becomes your support. You come up again and unite. Okay, now I'm confirmed that I am definitely moving back up again. And then you shoot, and that should be your point of entry. Because now you've gone beyond this area, and look what's happened. You've come to this area, this zone here, right? And I'm drawing this zone for you. This zone here, this whole zone here, which there's actually nothing here. There's nothing resisting you, nothing supporting you, absolutely nothing. So I hope this kind of makes sense. These are the areas that you should be opening a trade, not in areas where we have resistance or where we have support. Do you understand what I mean? Because these could fail. Support and resistance can easily fail. So please do understand, you want to do your trades around areas where there's absolutely nothing. So this zone here, for example, absolutely nothing is a gray area. All right. All of this is absolutely nothing. It's a gray area. And once we're above, we have a higher probability to go up. And if we're below these areas, these resistance areas, then we do have a higher probability to go down. I hope this kind of makes sense. I'm not going to make this any longer. I'm not here to do a trading thing. Right. Okay. Constant. Alex, makes sense. Awesome, bro. No worries. Thank you. JPM Tamil Gamer. Awesome, awesome. ISP. Let's have a look at ISP. Let's have a look at ISP and then I'm going to shoot. Let's have a look at ISP. Is this the one? ISPO link? Is that ISP? I think this is. Let's have a look at ISP. This brother, he keeps on coming out with all of these. You know what? One of these days, Tamil, you're going to come out with one really good coin. That's going to be a killer coin, bro. It's going to be a killer coin, I'm telling you. Because you come out with these penny coins, and I would love to buy one of those. Right? Let's have a look anyway. So ISP, ISPO link. Okay, awesome, awesome. Let's have a look. It's looking good, looking good. I mean, not looking very good. This is a very good structure. This is a very good structure, actually. It's not a bad structure at all. Of course, it had a little bit of a pump and a dump, but the structure looks very good. Now, let's have a look at what this is. Nothing much here. Okay, fine. Okay, I can see. So on all the shitcoin exchanges, that's fine. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to be that harsh. Greatness. What is greatness? Okay. Bad advertism. Bad. Okay. Ah, I see. Okay. Interesting. Okay. If this project is legit, she could be. Looks pretty cool. The writing was not the best, but look, this is more like a seeker thingy. Like, for example, they connect engineers with companies, which seems good. Pretty similar to what what's it called? Keep is doing. So very similar to Keep. Um, if it's genuine, great. Yeah, I mean, look, so great. Seeking and finding whenever, whatever you are with the crypto, awesome. Um, maybe some small guys. I mean, this might pick up, you never know. But you know where the big boys go for their talent? They go to actual recruitment agencies. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of them globally. So, bro, you can call it whatever you like. LinkedIn is established. Do you know what I mean? Um, it's I don't know, it's hard to say. I mean, I can see that you have this belief it's bigger than LinkedIn or whatever. It's all great, but LinkedIn doesn't charge you any money, or at least doesn't need you to do a token, and everyone's there already. Twitter, everyone's there already. What's it called? Facebook is already there. Do you know what I mean? TikTok is already there. And remember, TikTok didn't create a token. Actually, TikTok is creating some NFT very soon, by the way. But the point is TikTok didn't do a token to launch first. TikTok came in, got the users first. This is a niche. See, cryptocurrency, one thing you have to understand, cryptocurrency is a niche. Only 5% of the planet even know about it. And probably out of that, maybe 4% have even invested something in it. So it's very, very important you understand this. 5% of almost 8 billion people is a lot of percentage. You know, it's a very small amount. And then when you got mega corporations, the paperwork, it's a nightmare. Bro, you're talking about nightmare for LinkedIn. It's a nightmare for companies to go and use a token. How are they going to report their taxes and everything? It gets complicated. I don't know if you know how companies work around, mostly in the Western countries and I'm Western world, right? And I've run a few, and I know how painful it can be with the paperwork, bro. This would be a disaster. I'm saying this would be a disaster for a company to start using this to recruit their, talent for their teams. That's why they use big recruitment agencies. I mean, for example, I've seen big banking corporations who literally sit in Oxford University. They sit in the campus. These are recruiters sitting in the campus waiting to headhunt someone. And that's how they recruit the best. They just literally sit there all day and they wait for someone and they watch their talent and they buy it. How do you do that with a token? How do you discover talent with a token other than someone coming in? Do you know what I mean? So I hope this kind of makes sense to you. No, it's okay. Listen, I love the idea. I think the vision is awesome. And one day, things like this will be robust. If we can have a tokenized economy in the future where everything is digital and recruit, big corporations and agencies who use protocols like this, they use this because it's easy, simple, and that's the way forward. Of course they will. Why would they spend millions on paying recruitment agencies if they can do this? But right now, this is too complicated legally and regulatory, right? Complication for companies to even touch. So promises are great, and we can come into this absolutely. We can FOMOing, we can be skeptics and getting and like, yeah, this is going to change the world. Guys, is it really going to? So you have to take two steps back and say to yourself, it's all good. It's the next LinkedIn killer. It's the next whatever killer. But is it really? If you're going in for the how much money you're going to make, if okay, I'm going to go in for the pump, I'm picking up cheap and I hope I can make some money. That's all great. There's no harm in that. There's absolutely no harm in that, right? But when you're going to be going in there for a technology or something like this, you got to really, really understand Bro, you are researching crypto. Which coin will you suggest to buy, which is under one? Um, Definitely, I will be looking at this, but not now. You see, Tamil, what you have to understand, the one that we want to be picking up, when we want to start looking at these prices is when we're in a bear market. Remember, keep on telling everybody, when we have a dump and the entire market crashes, right? So what we're looking for, and remember, this is a very important thing you have to understand. So this is the level. I want you to understand it. So this is on a monthly. I want to show you this. This is really, really cool to see. So we're going to put this here. I'm going to put a line here, nothing more, just a simple line here. What we are looking for is whatever happens in this market at some point, right? Understand where I'm coming from. At some point, we want to see this entire market crash and Bitcoin come down to $19,000, $20,000. That's when we start looking for the penny coins. And you know what happens then? Because you've bought them, these companies are there, and what you do, you buy these coins. Doesn't matter how much you buy, $10 or $100, right? You buy down here. Yes, yes, I'm going to buy 1,000 coins. I'm definitely buying 1,000 coins. But what I'm saying, you buy those 1,000 coins when we're here, and then if you take a risk on 1,000 coins and wait for the market to do what it does, right? And then at some point in the future, the market and comes back here, $10 could make you $1,000. $100 could make you $100,000 on the way up. You see what I mean? These are the moments you buy. You don't buy here and wait for the market to go up, right? So you have to understand the best time to start looking for coins under a cent is, and I'm telling you, it's awesome. What you're doing is actually awesome. And I know you're going to come up with some of these really, really good ones. But I think what you need to do yourself is just stay calm a little bit, and the moment is coming, the time is coming, and the time that we will all be looking for. One second, let me get rid of this shit. A few drawings here. Right, so the time we are looking for is actually when the market is down here. We're looking to buy in a bear market. That's when we're going to be making money, the bear market, right? So, anybody who's picked up, like, for example, there were coins some people picked up here. Some of these coins have done 20,000%, 10,000%. That's what we're looking for. We want the market to be here, pick up as many penny coins, last for a few years, shoot up. And then if 90% of those fail, so if we have 1,000 coins, right, we have 1,000 coins, right, just for the sake of it, 900 fail, right, 900 fail. And if only 100 pass, that's 10%, right? So my margin is 10%. If 10% of them pass and they do, say, for example, and I've spent, say, my bad, 1 second, 10%, right? 10%. Let's write 10%, right? 10%. And if they all do, 100x or maybe 200x or even more, some of them can do there. Brother KR asked for Link. So let's bring him some Link and see what Link is doing. Where am I? I'm here. Let's bring him some. Actually, no, I want this chart back because I've got a few bits and bobs I need to do on that one. Yeah, bring Link here. Link. Yeah, Link is looking good. Nothing much. Just doing its thing. Listen, KR, I've told you about Link. Link, it's not ready. One of the things Link needs to do is finally get all of its partnerships out of the way. And partnerships doesn't mean anything because obviously whenever you see a partnership, people start hyping and people are like, oh, look, Link is pumping and Link is doing this, Link is doing that. And what you need to understand, none of this matters. Link only benefits from all the news it gives. The Link token is not ready. I've mentioned this so many times. What has to happen with Link is the developers that are using Link to fund the project need to start dumping their coins, get rid of all of their coin, and they need to hand it over to the people. Once people decide what it's going to be, I think Link is going to be powerful. We could easily see $100, $200, $300 Link. Because so far, I'm not seeing much utility for Link. You see what I'm trying to say? Other than the fact that the developers are selling Link to fund the project, other than the fact that we bought Link to fund the project, I don't really see much utility. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So that's very important for you to understand. right? So Link is not ready yet. It might pump a little bit, follow the market. That's what everything's doing, right? Entire market's doing it. I mean, whatever Bitcoin is doing, the entire market does it. So that's what I said. You want to use, you want to see what the market does, follow Bitcoin. You want to see what Bitcoin does and confirm that, use Ethereum. So market's doing the same thing. So if Bitcoin crashes, everything crashes. It's the end of the game, full stop. So please do understand. It's sleeping, but it's sleeping because there's no utility at this present moment. There's nothing at the present moment other than the fact that companies are joining and partnering with it. But if they're partnering with it, they don't really need too much Link. What Link needs to do is create actual utility for it. Well, which means that you're going to use my protocol. You have to lock up XYZ amount of Link and create a supply a shock or whatever, or destroy or burn. Do you know what I mean? That's going to happen. But right now, we buy, we give the developers the money, developers sell back to us, and they fund the project. So they're still in the funding phase. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what it does. If you got a few, just hang on, right? So let's have a look at VET. VET supply chain. Obviously, this is one that confuses me the most, by the way. This coin confuses me the most. This coin was created by a Chinese company for Chinese supply chain management. And I'm thinking China's against crypto. If China is against crypto, isn't this a crypto? So I'm confused right now. This one, just right now, I mean, since the China FUD, you can't mention anything about crypto. Anyone doing anything about crypto, even if you talk about it for crypto, even if you're a sales agent for crypto, you're somebody on technical support for crypto, anything to do with crypto, you're screwed. What the hell is this doing here then? This is Chinese supply chain management. Chinese supply chain management. I mean, do I have to read my? It just doesn't make any sense. It just absolutely doesn't make any sense. If this is for Chinese manufacturing to track it globally, and they're doing that, by the way, they're really doing that, then why do we still have a crypto for it? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So one thing I do know is they do really physically track, but are they actually using VeChain to do that anymore? Or is VeChain just another token that we've just been, because so far, I mean, we were under the impression that VeChain is a crypto. VeChain is used to do supply chain management, XYZ, whatever. Now I'm having doubts. If China banned all the crypto, this should have suffered. But it seems like that's not the case. Seems like this is thriving, still thriving with the market. Whatever the market does, it does. It's like it's pegged to Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin does, it does as well. And I don't see any this affected. So is this like another Ripple, like where Ripple has its own little technology and then everybody else has XRP? Is VeChain, do they have their own little, supply chain management, actual private thing? And is this the public version of the shitcoin that they take money from? I don't know. So I'm a bit cautious about this. So I do have a little bag of this. So I'm just going to hold on to that bag and I'm just going to sit back. I'm not really going to say anything. It's just following the market again. I'm just going to leave it there. But you got to start it makes you think, isn't it? It makes you think. Can you please cover Link? Okay, SM, you asked for Link. I've already done that. Doing this nightmare on link. Plan B. This is weird. Okay, SM asked for what's my views basically. I think he's asking for what's my thoughts on Plan B. Plan B's stock to flow model is different. So remember, his stock to flow model is a fixed data point that's already there. There's no ifs and buts about that. But recently, he's been doing something and he's been tweeting on Twitter and telling people, this is not my stock to flow model. This is a different model. And that doesn't make any sense. And he's mentioned that the month of September will close at 43. And it was true. And then he's been putting other price points, right? And you just got to wonder why. But remember, Plan B has been in the institutional game for a very long time. He is a very, very early adopter of BTC. Number two, he still works for the corporations. He is probably a corporation, but he's never shown his face. Nobody knows who he is. He likes to keep it that way. Of course, all we know is his voice. So he's staying anonymous. And I think he has a lot of influence, in the market. And some people have even said, when we talk about whales with an S at the end, he probably is the whales. Do you know what I mean? Because how can you predict a specific number and do it on a specific time? That's not correct. You said a month ago it would be that price, and then we have a 2 minute candle, a 2 minute candle that pushes the pop market up to that price. I mean, that's some serious level of control, right? 2 minute candle on the very same. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So now there's a lot of conspiracy about him. Everyone's trying to figure out who he is. I mean, there are some names floating about, but ultimately, I mean, the prices he said is just ridiculous. I mean, recently he's even said 63K for the month of October. And you got to wonder, where is he getting the prices from? Because, 63K, if he's using Fibonacci, we can take the Fibonacci and say, okay, what does the Fibonacci say? Let's use a Fibonacci. For example, let's go to BTC, right? Let's go to BTC, let's auto this, and let's go to weekly, for example, or even monthly if we want to, right? We go to weekly, and we're looking at this, and we say, okay, let's do a Fibonacci on this and say, right, this is what's going on. This is what it's showing. What does the Fibonacci tell us? It doesn't say 63K. That's one thing for sure, right? Even if we did it from here, right? And I'll show you this. This is really, really hilarious. Where does he get his 63K from? Because that's the only number I couldn't figure out. I was like, okay, most stuff I can figure out, but where is he getting his 63K from, right? Where is he getting his 63? We don't have a 63 here. You know, we have a 52. Look at this fibs playing about, right? So we're bouncing on the fib, by the way. This is a long-term fib. We bounced on the fib, 41, right? So we went just below, but the body was above. The next fib line, look at this. I mean, I'm just doing it. This is weekly in front of you. How is that even possible? I'll get rid of this. Right, let's do this, right? So what you're looking at here is you can see how these fibs are playing about. All right? So fib says 786.52. Then it's going to be 65. Then it's going to be 81. Then it's going to be, what's that? 90. Then it's going to be 103. This is what the fib is saying. Where is he getting his 63? I don't know. I have no idea, because I've heard some crazy numbers, and I'm like, oh, where is he getting it from? Because none of it makes sense to me, So something's not right. I mean, him to hit those numbers, bang on the dot, something's not right. I mean, look at this. We're taking it right from that wick. So where the hell is he getting his data? Do you know what I mean? Just doesn't make any sense. So there's a lot of conspirations in there, but ultimately, look, he's being bullish. He is bullish. He's got a model. Remember, he's got something to prove that the whole world knows about. Everyone talks about his plan B, right? The $1 trillion thing. He's very famous for that. And, he's predicted, his model predicts $1 million Bitcoin. He doesn't say when, but it does predict $1 million Bitcoin. So ultimately, he's got a lot on stake. I mean, he can't show his face if he gets it wrong. So somehow, he is, but he's got the model, which is fine. $1 million BTC, fine. But his prediction is what doesn't make sense, like what he predicts now. And he says it's got nothing to do with the model. These are his other predictions. Where is he getting those from? So something is not right. I'm sure it will come out at some point. We'll see. But, other than that, there's nothing really we can say. I mean, so far, so good. Everything is looking bullish. Also, look at this monthly candle. Actually looking quite bullish, actually. I'll be honest with you. When you're looking at this on a monthly, right? If you can see this carefully, look at this. This body is higher than where we were last month, which already we're super bullish on this, right? When we flip it over to the weekly, what do we see? We see, again, it's higher than the previous week, and we're about to close the day week tomorrow. So we've still got a full day, so we've got like 1.5 day remaining, and so far, it's looking super bullish. On the daily, we might not be absolutely super bullish. However, if you do look carefully, this is a neckline that we were supposed to test. We did test it. We were supposed to test. If we're bullish, we were supposed to test this. We did test it. The downward trend line we have invalidated, as I said, but it doesn't mean anything because we do still have this horizontal, right, trend that we didn't break. You see what I mean? So we need to cover this horizontal trend and then come back to this level. Once we come back to this level, then we completely reverse the trend. You see what I mean? But just look at it. Just look at it. I don't know. I don't know what to say, SM. I don't know. Something's going on. Something's good, but he does have connection. As I said, he is recruited. He is invested by the big boys out there. He's part of the big boys. He's admitted that himself. There is a story out there where he actually mentions like a little bit about him, and he says that what he has, what he does, and what he's still doing. This is one of the reasons why he stays anonymous, because he cannot come out, and it will affect his current career or whatever he does. So he is involved. Trust me, he's got the power. You know, there are people out there who do have the power to move mountains if they want to. And then obviously for us lot, if we're solid positive about it, of course, you know. But for me, remember, I'm not about being bullish. I'm not here to FOMO. I'm not here to FUD. I'm only here with the fact, nothing more. And so far, to me, there's only one fact I see on this chart, right, that most people do not see. And I have clearly seen this, and I have shown it to you as well. And I'll show you this again just for the last 5 minutes, and it will make total sense to you why I'm being very, very cautious. I'm being mega cautious, right? Once I start drawing certain things, you'll understand why I'm being so cautious. Here we go. 1. I'm sure you already know where I'm going with this. Okay, so just want to quickly just make you understand where we are. It's very, very important because a lot of people actually miss this. Miss this as in like the fact. They just don't look at that fact. There's a very lovely fact in there that everybody needs to see, which will make total sense to you. And you'd be like, okay, that makes sense. We understand. We need to be calm, right? Because if you're not, then you're going to get wrecked, right? If you stay calm and you understand the market for what it is, you'd be like, okay, I know exactly what's going on. I know how to stay calm. I know exactly what to do, right? Because these are powerful data points on a monthly, by the way. We're doing monthly, right? These are powerful, powerful data points that a lot of people just completely ignore because of all the noise that they have around them. And these are things you should not ignore, because time and time again, these things constantly come back to us. It's a repeating pattern. You know, it doesn't matter what time, what year you were in, they will constantly come back and repeat back to you. Right? And I won't make it forever. Obviously, we can go on forever. Actually, no, I only got 2 more points. So let me just do that last 2 more points for you. You're going to love it. It's awesome stuff. It's bullish and it's bearish, bearing some news in there. So what you've got here is every time, these are the Octobers. These are the October months, right? You can see that, you know, we have October months. Usually, you know, it doesn't matter if it's red or thing. These are October months. Normally, traditionally, you can see the majority of the times we did pump. But also what everybody completely ignores is these ones here. These are during a dump. So that when we have the market dumping and we have an October, it dumps further. People are forgetting this, right? It dumps further. When we have an October, after a top, look, we dump further. When we have an October after the top, look, we dump further. And where are we now? Well, we've just had an October after the top. So guys, doesn't matter what people say, I'm going to be cautious. I'm not going to be too over optimistic until I have complete reversal in pattern, until I have a complete confirmation of this. I'm not going to be super bullish. And I'm a BTC bull. I'm just being very cautious. I'm not going to be over optimistic because I'm like, hold on. I can see the fact. The fact is, when the market's trending up, we see October months to be good. When the market's trending down, October, we see it go down even further. Up goes up, down goes down. Up goes up, down goes down. Do you know what I mean? So we are here, and I'm concerned. I'm like, okay, we haven't really gone anywhere yet. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Anything could happen. I mean, I want it to go up, obviously, you know, I want this to go up, but it's not over. You know, it's not over until, like, for example, if you look at the higher time frames, for example, this candle here, this monthly candle here, it's not over until we get this, sorry, weekly candle, until we go over this. It's not over, you know. Monthly, it's not over until we get above this. Does that make any sense to you? So monthly, we need to go to the $60,000 level on a monthly, and on a weekly, to invalidate all of this, we need to go above the 51, call it $52,000 level. That's what the Fibonacci said as well when we did the Fibonacci earlier on. So I hope all of this might make sense, guys. I hope this makes sense, because we're at this critical point right now, but there's only one fact, as I said. There's this one big fact that everybody keeps on not looking at, and that fact is that once we had a top and we have an October, we are down. A top, an October, down even further. Top, October, down further. Top, October, we don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. So just stay calm, be cautious. Until we have these little baby steps and confirm the way all the way up, you shouldn't be attempting trades or anything unless you're fully confident. And also, when you do trades or anything like this, please do make sure to have your stop loss and everything in place, because it will be like a roller coaster, because you don't know. Do you know what I mean? You don't know. I hope this makes sense for those of you who's watched this live. And I really appreciate everybody coming to the show. Big shout out to KR. Costan, thank you very much, bro. Yamvi, SM, thank you very much for coming to the show. Tamil Gamer, awesome, bro. And we had one other person here. Where was that person here? Interesting. I'm sure I saw somebody else here earlier on. Huh? That's weird. Oh, there it is. My God, Ray Thorogood. There you go, Ray. Awesome, bro. Shout out to you as well. Thank you very much for coming to the show and joining me in the conversation. And hopefully all of you guys understand the facts for what it is. Plan B, plan C, plan D, my plan, everyone's plan is great plan. We all want to go to $1 million. But we also need to kind of anchor ourselves back to the ground, back to earth, and see what the market is for what it is, and be calm, be cautious, trade well, and trade with a strategy. Very important. Whether we trade or just spot buy, it doesn't matter, but we cannot deny what the market is, where it is, and on historical times, also historical facts. So these are very important things, because I know the noise. It's like all of a sudden market's up, everyone's hyping. All of a sudden market's down, everyone's dumping. But here we try to keep keep calm and say, okay, guys, if we did get a low, how low can we go? And, is it a good low? Is it a bad low? And what's the market showing us? Is it bullish or is it bearish? Do you know what I mean? So obviously previously I've talked about how we are coming into these monthly zones where we're looking bullish. Do you know what I mean? So far we're looking bullish, right? We just got to wait for confirmations. And it doesn't matter what we have here, monthly, weekly, daily. Whatever pattern we have, we need a confirmation of that pattern. Unless we have a confirmation of that pattern, none of the patterns are valid for us. Okay, all patterns are invalidated if there's no confirmation, right? So nothing matters right now. The only thing that matters is this specific candle here, which is currently around the 52. You can see here it's around the 52,772. Forget the specific price, let's just call it 52 to 53. We need to get above this, at least to 53. That is the key for our success, right? That's the one that's going to say, right, market trend has completely reversed, we are now moving up, and we're going to pump and we're going to go further. Now we're going to test the 65k. So if everybody is looking for a 65k, when we get to the 65k, well, guess what? There's a chart that I've been hiding. I haven't been hiding, but I'm sure everyone's seen this before. This chart here, with all the prices, was always valid, and it's always there. And you can see once we get to the 65, our new target would be the 71. And this actually I will update in the future. I will update this a little bit because I know there's a lot of the structure has changed, so I have to re-update this, but I'll make it nicer and more clean. And actually I'll probably delete all of this, do it all over again. But I'm waiting for this 71, guys. Once I get my 71, then once we see a bounce here, so the idea is what I've got is we come, we do whatever, go up there in the future sometime, come here, bounce, and then do this. That's when I'll put a new bottom line here and then move up. Hopefully that kind of makes sense, because I don't want to take these targets off, because remember, these were all predictions that we did, and we were doing these predictions from time back, and we actually hit those predictions. I mean, this one was the only one where we didn't actually hit it bang on. So Our prediction was 62, we hit 60, right? And then the next prediction was 66 and we hit 64. 8. You know what I mean? So we got it slightly wrong, but that's fine. Those can be adjusted. But ultimately, I think we need to do this because this was actually price predictions, you know, and we were working on this for a very long time. So I need to clean it up. It's been some time now. So it's been some time, obviously, since October, you can see. So what I'm gonna do, this was actually older than October, but I deleted half of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this again, or delete it obviously live with you guys, and create some new areas so we can all be fine from there and move forward. So other than that, guys, I hope this stream was okay for you. I hope you found it beneficial, helpful, because as I said, there's a lot for us to see and understand, and basically, you know, you just gotta take it easy, see what it is, you know, and let the market do its thing. But ultimately, remember, one of the biggest thing is the data points. Very important. Okay, these data points are very important, especially when the longer time frame. Okay, longer time frame. Very important. These are facts that we cannot miss. So other than that, guys, like, share, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. And by the way, if you're on the Discord, oh yeah, this I have to drop in. Guys, if you're on the Discord and you see a whole bunch of people, I think today we had like almost 50 or 60 people join Discord. Great. Come and say hi to us so we know you're not a robot, number one. Because we did have a situation where one of the members, very nice person, everything was jolly good, and then turned out to be some sort of a scammer, was contacting people privately. So I'm going to say this here right now. On the Discord, if anybody's actually contacting you privately, please do ignore or report or just block them. Okay, you don't have to talk to them, you don't have to do anything, just block them, or you can report them to the admin so we can have a chat with them, because they shouldn't be contacting you privately unless you have prior arrangement or unless you know them personally. So prior arrangement means that you should be having a good conversation on the chat, and you know, publicly everyone should know everyone's here, so we know you're human, we know you have no bad intention. And then if you contact somebody just to say hi, that's a different story. So do avoid all of this stuff, and I've got a feeling that half of those people who signed up may be from that one member, or some sort of scammy something going on. So please do avoid. I'm not sure what's going on. I can't verify. So you do know I have verified people there. Those are people I personally know. Those are my verified people. If I personally know someone and I know they got goodwill and good heart, right, I will verify them. But there are other people out there I don't know, and one by one I am doing my best to basically filter out as many people. But I've got this weird feeling that whatever's happened today, 50, 60 people coming and joining the Discord server, they are either not human or they do not have good intention. But so please be aware. I'm not going to kick them because I don't know. I can't judge because I have no idea what's going on. But what I did see is they did not come from YouTube, because if they did, they would have watched a video and then come from YouTube, right? And even if they didn't, they would have at least subscribed, because if they are fans, they should have subscribed. And I can see that I've only had 3 new subscribers today. So that all just says to me something's not right. So that's why I want to warn everybody. I have warned everybody, and I hope everybody understands all of this and keeps themselves safe. So yeah, if anybody contacts you on the Discord groups privately, it only applies if it's privately. If they contact you privately, please do not give them anything. Please do not do anything. And the best scenario is just block them. So you don't need to talk to them at all, right? Block them and just, you know, there's no point having a confrontation. Just block them. So yeah, I mean, sadly, this is the reality. It doesn't matter what kind of, I mean, even in YouTube, you can look in the comments and this and that. You'll find hundreds of comments that are just pure scam, guys. Pure scam. So keep yourself safe, right? You can't avoid them. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. So yeah, guys, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.